Yo, 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 afternoon, everybody. It's the Fair Catch Sports Show live for you on a Monday afternoon, the day after Father's Day. Hopefully, all you dads out there had a great time being celebrated. I know I did, had a good weekend. So yeah. How was your weekend, Elise?
Oh, it was good. Didn't do much of anything. I hung out with my dad yesterday mostly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did got him a card and stuff. We had breakfast, dinner, lunch, all of his choice.
Right.
Spoiled my dad, so that was nice. Got him a
Awesome.
gift card to Starbucks because I know he likes Starbucks. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm like, take a couple trips to Starbucks. Why don't you?
right, exactly. Might as well. Yeah. He
Yeah.
a big
So
Starbucks fan, huh?
pretty chill for
Mm-hmm.
the most part, but yeah,
Awesome. That is
good
awesome.
weekend.
That's
Happy
good. That's good.
Father's Day to all the dads out there. I hope you got spoiled by your kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Or animals, for
Or
animals
or
count.
animals. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. If you yeah, there's some people that hey, I'm a fur dad. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's what you want. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. By all means. But
Right.
yeah. So we get this week started. I mean now the Bears, if for those who didn't know, OTAs is over with and they are on their break.
Thank
Um
goodness.
so they're on their summer break until they come back to whatever date they decide to come back. They haven't actually released that date yet because I was looking. Um, at least thinks it's probably going to be around the 22nd of July, but we'll see. We'll see what officially comes out whenever they decide to release that date. So we'll see what happens with that. I know they had a good, look like they had a couple of good workouts. There's a lot of
Hmm.
good. I don't think it was too much bad that came out of from what I seen. It wasn't really
No.
anything bad. Um, I know they're trying to work on a lot of things, so uh, I don't know. I'll let you get started. See what your thoughts was on it. I know you kept up with it a little bit more than I did,
I
but
think I think with mini camp and like OTAs and stuff, a lot of it's more like, if you notice, a lot of it's more like passing wise because you can't really run or block if you're a lineman or a running back.
mm-hmm,
Right? Because you don't have pads on. So it's more so like, that's why you see a bunch of 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, those type of things,
mm-hmm,
because you can kind of do a little bit more in that sense, passing wise, than you can do like running
right,
or blocking. So, um, for what they could do, I mean, I thought it went pretty well. For it's also just the installs part of it, right?
right,
Installing the playbook, learning a couple plays from the playbook, and executing those, what you can of the playbook. So,
mm-hmm,
2 minute situation, uh, starting at a certain spot, so situational drills, all those types of things.
right,
Um, Not much else. I thought the turnout was pretty good for
mm-hmm,
Ben. Uh, with him being a new coach and everything, wanting to try to establish a culture, I thought it was good that a lot of the guys were there, getting that work in, even some of the vets. So,
yeah, yeah. No, it's good. So it's awesome to see. Like you can definitely tell that Ben is serious. For one, he's very serious about what's going on. He's very intense. Um, I mean, all the coaches look to be very intense. You can see the intensity in just some of the videos and stuff like that. So it looks like you know, they're having a good. I mean, it looks like they're having a good start to it so far. Obviously there's things that they got to work on. Like we talked about last week, there was a play where Caleb was late on his throw to Roshan out of the backfield, and they spoke about it, and Ben said, "Hey, you just got to be on time. He was late. He ain't on time. You got to get there. No,
right.
no excuses. Like it is what it is. The play is the play. Now, obviously, they're gonna. make adjustments depending on the personnel they have and stuff like that. But so far as starting out, he's happy at least from what he showed. So
Mm-hmm. Very early, very, very early.
hmm
But you do like that that Ben's been on his head, telling him like, hey, like, be better. That
hmm
type of thing. Because it's only gonna make Caleb a better player. So I
yeah.
mean, you could be Matt Eberflus and basically call Caleb a liar. That was a fun one today.
Oh wow, I didn't see
I
that.
seen
What
that
happened?
today. I seen that. So basically, Eberflus went on some Cowboys podcast like that came out like yesterday or early today, and he basically said that they watched film pretty much every day. They had practice and stuff. Like
Mm,
he basically said, "Nah, we watched film. Like that's as much as I'll get into it." But he basically said they watched film every day as part of
mm,
protocol and things like that.
hmm
So,
mm. Interesting.
hmm
Interesting.
I
But
saw
I
that. I
remember,
saw that this morning.
something, and I don't know how true it was. I remember seeing a tweet that some of the players were pushing back on what had came out about like some of that, and they were like, why did he say that? So I'm just saying, hey, it's three sides to the story. Caleb's side, their
And
side,
I'm
and
not
what really
even
happened.
like I'm not
You know
even
what I'm
an
saying?
advocate of flus like that, but bro, even I said that and I got heat for saying that. I'm like, bro, come on, like you mean to tell me like they didn't watch film? I'm pretty sure it's required they have to watch film.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure every team has to watch film in some capacity. Like there's no
Yep.
way they don't watch film.
Yep.
Like now if you're choosing not to pay attention or not
Mm-hmm.
take notes, that's a you problem. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure these teams watch film. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
required. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And I
like
think.
and my thing is like this the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you really need your hand held like that in the pros?
Mm.
I
See.
mean, think about it, right? Like you think of high school and college. Like high school, they hold your hand every second. But like once you get to college, what's the difference in college? They don't be holding your hand,
They
bro.
don't hold your hand.
They don't
They
hold
don't
your
hold
hand
your
in
hand.
college. Like, bro, it's on your own to get the assignments done. It's on your own to study what you think is going to
Mm-hmm.
be on the test. They're not going to sit there and tell you what's on the test. You just have to know what's on the test and be prepared for when you take the test. Like they don't hold your hand in college. Like why would they hold their hands on the pros?
Right. Right.
You
But
know, like
but then again, maybe they do. Maybe for certain people they do, and that's one of the things that's the difference. And I think, I don't know if we talked about it on the show or we talked about it offline. And I said something like Caleb he's basically been the best player on his teams for the last what 5 years, 5, 6,
yeah,
7 years, pretty much starting from high school to through
yeah, to
college.
now. Yeah.
So he probably did have his hand held a lot of times. That's not a slight to him. It is what it is. Your best player, you don't want to fail, especially if you're trying to make yourself look good, i.e., the coaches, and you're trying to win, and you know this guy can help you get there. You might have to do a little holding hands. You know what I'm saying? You might have to hold his hand a little bit to help him out because he may not get it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people it takes them a little longer than others. So I think that what's up, Steve? I just think that some people expected him to be something that he wasn't, but I also feel like there was a PR push to push back on some narratives on him by his team, which is fine, whatever. I told y'all this. I said it. I felt like the reason he put that out at a certain time because they knew it would be hard for the media to really get him to respond to it because they wouldn't really have access to him. So they planned it out perfectly. And again, he had plenty of time to think about the answers. And what did he do? He started off the press conference with like a 2 minute whole, you know what I'm saying, his own answer before they even asked him a question. So it was all planned. And then I'm just shocked. Honestly, I didn't think Eagles was gonna say anything. I thought he was
I
gonna be like,
mean,
whatever.
Eberflus got to defend himself, right? Like, and I
He
think he was
does.
asked about it. He was asked about that comment because
Yeah.
it was kind of even I was blown aback by it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure they have to watch film. Like, pretty sure that's required by like the NFL and the NFLPA. Like, I don't like
Mm-hmm.
saying you never learn to watch film. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, pretty sure y'all watch film every day. Like by requirement. Like that's what the meetings are for. You usually have your meetings first, which is like meeting slash film study, and then you have practice, and then you probably have one more meeting after that, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
basically free to go after that, right? So like, or unless you're chosen to speak to the media that day, but um, it's like I don't understand.
I think and for me, I can think of a couple of quarterbacks that responded to that, and it was like, three of them for sure I know responded, but I'll use four examples, right? So you look at two guys that are in the Hall of Fame or going in the Hall of Fame, i.e., Tom Brady
Mhm.
and Kurt Warner, right?
Mhm.
Tom Brady, he said a statement a couple weeks before all this came out. Like he said, he studied so much, he knew exactly what the defense was going to do and what they might go into. Like he was that ready. That he was ready for anything and everything. That's how much he studied, right? He studied that much where he was ready for anything and everything the defense brought. You know what I'm saying? So he was really meticulous. And then Kurt Warner basically like, what are y'all talking about? Like he should have been in the, basically saying that was on Caleb, like you just said, everything you just said. But then you turn around and like Dan Orlovsky and RG3, if I remember, were both like, no, that was egregious by the Bears. Well, no slight to RG3 and Dan Orlovsky, but y'all view is I would rather listen to what Tom Brady or Kurt Warner says because they've been proving it. Both of them have proven it on the highest level than those other two guys. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they weren't talented, but two guys said they studied on their own. They made this. They went the extra mile, and you got two other guys that didn't. I'm not saying they didn't study whatever, but you're pushing back on it. So I'd rather listen to those other two guys that won Super Bowls, and both of them gonna be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
then he tried to say it wasn't more so that they didn't watch film, but more so they didn't tell him what to watch. Like they gotta tell you what to watch. Like you don't know what you're looking at.
mm,
Like, dude, come on. Like
yeah,
this is again, like this is not like high school or college. Like this is the NFL. They're not gonna hold your hand every step of the way, bro.
mm-hmm.
Like at some point, you gotta be able to do this kind of stuff on your own.
Right, exactly, and that's the key right there.
Like you're an adult, right? Like this is welcome to the world of adulting, right? Like with any job, right? At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, this is a job. Like you should be doing your job to the best of your ability, right? Now, that's the whole point of meetings, right? Is to go and ask
Mm-hmm.
questions. Like, hey, I noticed this, blah 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 on film. Is there a way to counter this or counter that?
Right.
Blah blah blah. Or if you're not sure and be like, hey, like I'm not necessarily sure what I needed to see on this play, but I think what I saw is this. Like you
Right.
didn't even like come on, bro. At least have some knowledge of what you're looking for and
Mm-hmm.
ask questions if you have a question. Ask good questions. That's what they're there for, right? Like don't
That's
sit up
basically
there and say that you weren't taught how
mm-hmm.
to watch film or like you didn't know what to look for.
That's it. Basically, somebody down the line. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. 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 You basically said me and you. Yeah, we all on the same line of thinking. Like, and that's why I said I feel like his hand was held too much because he's a star guy in college. Obviously, some guys don't get developed as others, and they come in the league not as prepared as some of them. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in his mind, he felt like, hey, y'all ain't hold my hand enough. Okay, well, You ain't supposed to hold your hand, homie.
Like, are we
Like,
supposed to in the NFL?
nah. And I think that's where he maybe had it misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's why you do. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on Ryan Poles. This is why you interview other people, because if you interview other people, maybe those questions can get asked, and then you can figure out what's the difference between this guy, that guy, and the other guy, right? But you didn't bring the other two guys in, so you don't know where their level was, where their mental capacity was, because you didn't bring them in. So you just going off what you see, and in the conversation you have this with Caleb, but you didn't bring Jaden or you didn't bring Drake in, Drake May. So who you having to who can you compare them to? Because you didn't talk to them, so you don't know what they're like. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was a misstep by Ryan Poles as the GM. You know what I'm saying? Like you had an opportunity, and guess what? You could still have taken Caleb. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right? No one would have stopped. Like, no one would have batted an eye if you decided to bring in Jaden and Drake. Even though you knew you were taking Caleb, like,
Yeah,
at least do your due diligence, right? It's like, hey, like, look, I'm just making sure all my I's are dotted and my T's are
T's are
crossed,
crossed
and making
exactly.
sure I'm making the right decision.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's all it took. And again,
Mm-hmm.
you're the GM. You could take who you want to take. Um, okay, I'm reading it. And you could take who you want to take. That's your job. You're the GM. You got hired for a reason, right? But
Mm-hmm.
again, the really good, the people that's really good at their job do their homework. You know what I'm saying? They know what they got to do. They know what they need, and that's the difference between him and a uh, Howie Roseman from the Eagles. And
Mm-hmm.
he tell you what I'm gonna do. He don't care. That man say I'm drafting people that I know can be stars soon. So he does his homework, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like if you want to get to that level of how he is, or where what's my man for the coach? I mean, not the coach, the Chiefs. I was about to say Belichick.
Andy
Brett
Reid,
Beach.
Brett, yes.
Brett
If
Veach.
you want to get to their level, you got to do your homework, player. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be, oh, I love this guy so much. Like, come on, man. Come on. Now you set him up for failure, and then you got this young man out here speaking his truth, which is what it was, his truth, but he didn't, maybe that's all he know. You know what I'm saying? So again, he just spoke his truth. Coach, what Steve was saying. Yeah, USC got him his Heisman to show off his talent, but did it truly develop? Yeah. Coach pro style for the league, not use easier schemes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's why
totally
Jaden
agree.
Daniels was. That's why he was deemed most pro ready, right? He
Mm-hmm.
ran a pro style offense at LSU
Mm-hmm. Yep.
until
Well, Zay,
his
how you doing, man?
transition to the NFL wasn't as difficult.
Correct. What's up, Zay? How was your weekend, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Everything was my weekend was pretty smooth. I had some technical difficulties over here trying to figure out how to get on my laptop on this thing for whatever reason. Twitter logged
Mm,
me out. So yeah, it was pretty good. Did
that's
y'all
good.
did y'all hear what Eberflus said? He said that obviously he denied it about not watching film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got mixed opinions about that
I don't.
Well, go ahead,
because
because we already spoke on
um,
it. Go ahead. You go ahead.
on one
Yeah, we
end he
spoke on it.
on
Go
one
ahead.
end I can see where he didn't watch tape. On the other hand, then when I look back at what Caleb said, he said that they weren't giving him pointers on like
Mm-hmm.
and it's important to when he say pointers and stuff like that. You gotta think about what he mean. Whether
Yep.
it's what type of coverages the defense gonna play, what type of blitz packages the defense gonna show you. That really makes me wonder what do he mean. I wish he would have went into depth about that, but it is what it is, man. I don't know.
So I think so. What Elise said, and she can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna paraphrase what she said. Basically, like, and what Steve was kind of saying in the comments is, Caleb was saying, I think Caleb. I don't think that they didn't watch film. I think that was said incorrectly. I think what you just said was what it is.
Yep.
He didn't. Nobody told him, hey, this is what you should look for. But again, if you don't know to ask those questions, you thinking you left hung out to dry. But again, you have to ask those questions because you're a professional athlete now. You have to go seek out the information. The information ain't a lot of times, yes, you will have a lot of information come to you, but there's certain things that you supposed to seek out on your own. That's just a given as a professional athlete. They're like, hey, dog, nah, you supposed to come seek out their information. Or you supposed, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, Tom Brady, he said he studied so much, he knew exactly what everybody was gonna do on defense. He knew their tendencies, all that. You know what I'm saying? And Kurt Warner kind of said the same thing. So it's like maybe Caleb didn't understand that part. And maybe that's why he felt like, oh, we didn't really watch film or I didn't get enough pointers. Well, now you know. You're gonna have to really get that information because again, in college, the coaches, they all about y'all, but NFL is a whole lot more stuff going on.
Yep.
So they don't have time to just sit down with one guy and be like, hey Caleb,
Yeah.
we're gonna walk you through, okay, this is what they ain't got time for that. They ain't got time.
Yeah.
There's too much going on.
Yeah, and then when you add on top of that, I'm giving him the responsibility of making checks and calls at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dang it, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So it was just I just feel like the process wasn't good. Like before you came on, I was saying I feel like Ryan Poles, he could have taken Caleb fine, but he should have interviewed the other guys to see where their mental capacity was and see what separates them from Caleb as far as mentally. Like how do they get prepared for games? How do they get prepared to for playing and all that other stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like he
Yeah.
should have looked at other quarterbacks. I just if
Yeah.
they didn't really want to become like go with the Bears, you should have had a backup plan. I never get that. I'll never understand that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not exactly. Nobody would have faulted him and saying, hey, I'm just gonna bring them in just to see. Maybe I'll get some more information. Because you never know. You may have brought in Jaden. He said, hey man, this is how I get prepared. I may do, I don't know, something simple like I may have flashcards or whatever. And they like, well, Caleb said he does. He just tries to, whatever, read it on the iPad or something. Like, well, maybe try, you know what I'm saying? Like something. They could have learned something, man.
Yeah, but that goes back to Thomas Brown. I'm gonna give him some praise. That
Mm-hmm.
goes back to him for what they did in that
Yep.
Vikings game because we know how exotic Brian Flores can get with those coverages and who
Mm-hmm.
he blitzes, who he called a blitz. That man, like Thomas Brown, deserves a lot of credit for that. I know people give him a lot of flack about how things ended, but he deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. You could tell that he wants. I think he recognized. He recognized what was going on, right? So it's like, okay, he wasn't in a position to kind of make those changes because he wasn't OC. So he just had to sit back and, hey, this is the way they want to do it, fine. So when he did it, he tried to get a little bit more hands-on with Caleb and try to help him because he saw that he wasn't ready for that. But like I said, again, and I said this during the season, we said this, we felt like they put too much pressure, they put too much on Caleb at the beginning of the season. And that wasn't fair to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like they did him right from the GM on down. Like y'all put too much pressure, y'all put too much on him instead of letting him just, you know, like give him the training wheels. You know what I'm saying? Yes, his
Yeah.
physical talent is gonna shine on every Sunday. He's gonna do something that you can be like, damn, that's crazy. But you should have given him baby steps. You should have relied more on the running game to start the season and allow Caleb to get to, feel comfortable back there, get comfortable getting on the center more, all that stuff. Which that may have been, we don't know. That may have been the plan when what's his name? Waldron came in, but maybe they're like, nope. Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna lie, Julius. I think both of them. I think Eberflus from Waldron. I just don't think they had a freaking clue because I just look back at that coach game and just think like, how do we not win that game? How do we not go out there and beat them? Anthony Richardson was terrible that game. He was just
I
giving
told you.
picks to us.
I think it's different philosophies. I honestly think that's what it was. I think that they may have wanted to do one thing, but and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, he no one pick. We got to show him off. For what?
Man, them
You want to win
boys,
games or you want to show off your shiny new toy? What you want to do?
them
Which is
boys.
if you think about it, and again, we weren't in the locker room. We don't know. And I know Elise didn't heard some stuff because she tapped in. But you can see it on them players. They body language was a lot of them was like, "This ain't what I was told. This is some BS. This is not what the hell I was sold. I was sold a bill of goods that was trash. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Caleb was trash, but like whatever they sold them was not what they got. I mean, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But I don't know.
Them players know. Them players know in training camp. They know. They know if the coach is gonna be good or not. Like they freaking know. Like
You can't lie to the
they
players.
they
That's
freaking know.
basically what it is. You
That's
can't
why I
lie to
don't
the
understand.
players.
That's why I don't understand. If Waldron had these issues, why didn't y'all get let him take a back seat and let Thomas Brown do his job since he had a better connection with the quarterback anyways? Because it was like it was clear Keelan Allen said it. He was like the dude was too nice. He
But,
freaking too nice.
but again, okay, so think about this, right? He said he was too nice. So at least you went to a training camp practice last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the same team that you saw in training camp on week 1 or week 2?
No. Well,
Exactly.
actually, yeah.
A little
No.
bit. No, it was different, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I say that, so think about it. I'll say so. Keenan Allen and Mercedes Lewis had a meeting to tell Shane Waldron to step up. Why would they
Mm-hmm.
do that? Because what was told before changed, and they looking at him like, "Hey, dog, you got to say something." And he like, "I can't say." You know what I'm saying? That's the way
Yeah.
I take it. If they saying he was too soft, that means he wasn't speaking up when he. It's like, hey, this is not what we practice. This is not the
Yeah.
way we were going. Now you want us to switch directions and go this way. So the player's like, whoa, hey
DJ Moore
man,
said it.
yeah.
He was like,
I think the
he was
problem
like,
was.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think the problem was because like if you watch Shane Waldron in Seattle, like the offense in Seattle compared to what it was in Chicago is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
literally completely different. Like if you watch it, it's completely different.
It is.
but you got
It's
to
not
realize who's at
even
the
like I
helm.
didn't even recognize the offense in Chicago than I did in Seattle. I didn't recognize it at all because they
How
were
many
two
times did he
different
go?
offenses.
You
He
got
didn't
to
even do
realize
12
who's
personnel that often, man.
you
Remember
got to
that.
realize
No,
who's
he
at the
didn't.
helm. It's Pete Carroll. Pete
But again,
Carroll.
I mean, I get that. I get that. I'm not disagreeing there, but also at the same time, like OCs are OCs, right? They're gonna have their system and their scheme on what they
mm-hmm,
want,
mm-hmm,
basically how that they want that offense to go, right? Like think about it. Like you think Arthur Smith, his scheme has been the same every stop he's been at. Tennessee, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. He's now changing it to fit Aaron Rodgers, right? Because Aaron
right,
Rodgers is a different quarterback compared to all the quarterbacks he's had, right?
mm-hmm,
Or like of all the teams he's had. So it's probably going to be more pass heavy than it has been. But his offense, his bread and butter, what he likes to do is run the ball. Like he
mm-hmm,
likes to run the football and have quick passes and not throw over the middle of the field. But or I mean throw in the middle of the field. That's like his offense, his bread and butter. But with Rodgers, it's probably going to be more shotgun, more
mm-hmm.
throw deep, more pass plays in
Quick
general. Like they're
outs.
going to
A
run the
lot of quick
ball, but
outs.
it's
Up the
not going to be
seam. Yeah.
like
Yeah, up the
You got
scene.
like
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Arthur Smith's offense is going to look different than it has his entire career
mm-hmm,
because of Aaron Rodgers. Like, and that's what I'm basically saying here is like, you look at Shane Waldron because even his time with the Rams, the offense was the same as it was in Seattle. Like when he got
mm-hmm.
to Chicago, the offense was completely different compared to that of his Seattle tenure and his Rams tenure.
I mean, Liam Cohen said it. Is that his name, Liam Cohen?
yeah.
Yeah.
He said it. He stays like, so what do you think about his time in Chicago? He's like, nothing. I'm not gonna talk about it
Right, because they're
because he
not asking
knew,
him to do that. They're not asking him to be put in that position.
right? But he knew. So yes, hey, what's up? So he know. So, but Liam also said he's known Shane a long time,
Yeah.
so he
Uh-huh.
knows what his what he does, like what his base is. It's like Alicia's explaining Arthur Smith, this is what he does. This is what Shane does. This is what LaFleur does. You know what I'm saying? All these people have something that they do, their basic stuff. They like, this is what I'm gonna do. And it, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they're
Yeah.
known for. So I think that with Shane, he did something that he wasn't. They asked him to do something he wasn't ready to do, but I think they gave it to him on short notice. I think that they went all training camp with the way he wanted to go, but it was like, well, that's not really going to showcase Caleb's arm, so we got to go this direction. And he like, whoa, what the hell? And the players like, whoa, what? Thank you, sir. Like the players are like, whoa, this ain't what we've been practicing. So now you got to change up. Now your mentality got to change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you said, Pete Carroll, and I'm glad you said that. So Pete Carroll, I look at Pete Carroll and what's my man name from Detroit? I'm sorry, y'all
Dan
know I know
Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Thank you. I had his name.
Dan Campbell.
Yes, they are. They have complete control of their team, right?
Yeah.
But they also let their guys do their jobs to a point until they feel it's absolutely necessary. They got to step in. For the most part, they hands off. They overseers, right?
Yeah.
And then y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. They're overseers. I don't think Eberflus is like that. I said this to at least plenty of times. I feel like he's a micromanager.
Yeah, I feel like
Because then
I,
that
I
guy from Indianapolis, that safety or cornerback he had an issue with,
you
he
talking
kind
about
of
that
answered that
linebacker. You
or
talking
whatever
about
the
number
line,
44, Franklin
whoever it
from
was, the
Zaire
guy.
Franklin.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Zaire
said he's
Franklin.
basically like a micromanager. He just he
He
don't
didn't
tell
want him to
you what you're doing
succeed.
wrong, all that stuff. So, but I'm sorry, Zay, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, real quick, if I'm not mistaken, like it was bad from the start because Seattle fans wanted this man fired anyways. Like we should have knew right then and there, like why did Seattle keep him if they were
I
like
mean,
we should have freaking
I mean,
knew. Just
Colts
straight should have knew.
players wanted Eberflus fired, and we hired him
Should have
anyway.
knew.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
Colts are
Should have
gonna
knew.
fire him, and we hired him anyway.
Well,
But
They wanted
They
him
um,
fired
wanted,
because he went away from what worked the year prior. But
but if you really
again,
think
right,
about it,
that's all.
like yeah,
but
but
they added JSN, so you add a
yeah,
third receiver, which is not his bread and butter. His bread and butter is 12 personnel. So now he got
Right,
to do something he ain't never did in his life, probably,
yeah.
and he
bingo.
struggled with it.
That's what
You know
I'm
what I'm
JSN
saying?
didn't
saying.
like
It's
And
him.
like
wasn't Walker hurt like half the season?
Yep.
yes, he was.
So that changed your offense completely.
But see, the thing is, he has Charbonnet. Charbonnet, man, he's underrated. I don't feel like he
Like,
don't get talked about
like,
enough.
like. Here's the thing, right? Like watching the Lions' offense, like they run the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I, like I don't know how fans would handle that. If Ben Johnson
Uh,
truly ran his offense the way it's designed to be ran, I don't know if fans would handle that.
Shoot, if we running the ball and winning, I mean, I don't know how you can't be
I
fans
mean,
of
you
it.
you and I don't have a problem with that, but
Correct.
I was having this conversation, and I've had it all off season long. I had a similar conversation the other day. Like this offense is designed to run the football, and it sets up the play action game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like so, if you look at it, I think two times like every game Jared Goff threw more than 40 times. Actually, more than 35 times the Lions lost last season.
Uh-huh.
So the two games they lost, Goff threw more than 35 times. 30,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 30 or more times. He threw more than 30 times and they lost both games. Actually, if you count the playoffs, three, because he
But yeah.
threw over 30, 30 times in the playoff game. So every
Mm-hmm.
time he did that, they lost. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joking. Like
I'm about
they
to look it
every
up. Don't
game
worry
they
about it.
won, he threw 30 times or less. Every game they
Mm-hmm.
won last season, he threw 30 times or less.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how the offense is designed to go. Like if you're asking Caleb to throw more than 30 times, you're not going to win in this system. You're not.
Nope.
And you're it's going to take sacrifice. Like the bread and butter of this team is running the football, 12 personnel, 13 personnel, sometimes 14, depending on what other tricks Ben has up his sleeve, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they like to pound the ball, wear teams down, and then throw the ball, sling it around the yard.
Yep.
If they can't run the ball, this offense isn't going to work. I'm going to just say that right now. Like, the running game is going to be such a huge aspect of this team. And if they can't run the football, this scheme is not going to work at all. It's not. They have to run the ball in this scheme. That's a big, big, big thing about this offense. And I think they have the right guys to do it. I think Eric Bieniemy's a good running backs coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get the best out of the three backs that are there. And I like that Roshan has the ability to catch passes out of the backfield. That way you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of trick the defense a little bit, right? Like, because that's the thing. That's another thing about this offense. It plays under center. Why? Because that you the d- it confuses the defense. Are you going to run or pass? They don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you're under center all the time. That's why. That's why the Packers have success because they're always under center. You don't know if they're going to run or pass,
Right.
like because they're always under
Packers,
center.
So
Packers,
okay, I brought up the stats. Go ahead, say finish what you're saying. Go
Packers,
ahead.
Packers spent a fifth round pick on a tackle, Zach Tom, and he's so freaking good. Now they in the position of
Yeah,
freaking
he
paying him
is.
again. Like you got to get to a point like that, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
enough
Right,
with
and
all
we're
this
not.
freaking nonsense.
That's the thing is we're not there yet, right?
Like
Like
we
we're not.
haven't drafted well enough to be
We
there.
haven't drafted well,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of it, right? Like you think about it, right? You look at Detroit, like you said, Green Bay. They all drafted these really good athletic linemen that can get out in space,
Mm-hmm.
that can pass protect, can run block. Like you think about Panay Sewell, who went seventh overall to Detroit. Dude is like the one of the best tackles in football, and it's not even close.
Yep. Yep.
Like he's a mauler in the run game. He's a mauler in pass protection. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need the talent. You need the guys that'll help make this system work. That helps make this
Hey,
team work. I think people try to act like it's just one person or like it's just the coach. It's just the player. Like
Mm-mm.
no, like it's
hey,
everybody, right? Like
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
does does Ben can be a good coach. I'm not saying he isn't, but
can be.
does he have the pieces that can execute what he wants to do? We don't know that
Mm-hmm.
yet, right? That's why the
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
games are played. That's why we're gonna see. We're hopefully we'll be able to see. Does Ben have the pieces that he needs to run what he wants to run?
hey, hey,
Does
I
he
thought
have the
my
the
bad.
coaching staff that can help
Mm-hmm.
him run his system? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, really quick, I didn't catch on to this until now. Shout out to my boy Joey Sandwich on Twitter. He had brought it up. Um, then he when he was talking about like left tackle battle and stuff like that, he
Mm-hmm.
was saying like he more so want a guy that can pass pro block more than they can run block. And I thought that was a clear shot at Braxton. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, like that's for
That's
me
because
personally. For me, that's what I want for them. Like, that's what should matter the most.
Right.
yes, yes, because again, right? Again, if you can run block and pass block, that's going to do so much more for your offense. It's going to
Right.
open up your offense a lot more. If you have guys that can do both,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the job so much more easier when you have
Right.
guys that can do both.
No, so you're right. You're right. So I looked up Jared Goff's stats, and you're right. Two of their losses, he threw over 50 times. Uh, when they lost to Tampa Bay, he had 55 attempts. When they lost to Buffalo, he had 59 attempts. The only other game he had over 40 attempts was against Green Bay. He had 41 attempts. Every other game, he was in the 20s and 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the playoff game, he had 40 attempts. So
40.
basically, 3 out of 4 games that he was over 40 attempts, they lost. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, they lost, right? Yeah, they lost. I said
Yeah.
that right.
He only
Three
won
out
one
of
game where he threw over 30 times, where he
oh
won, and that
oh
was
yeah.
Green Bay.
Well, over 40 times. Over 40 times, basically. Over 40 times they won one game. One. So that should tell you, don't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. Now, if Ben is who we think he is, and Caleb is who a lot of y'all think he is, then maybe eventually down the line, because eventually, if he is
Mm-hmm.
who we think he is, he's gonna have to get paid. So then
Right.
again, y'all know that what happens when a person got to get paid, people got to leave because they can't afford. So
Right.
then the offense will probably change because I don't know. Let's see. Because by the time him and Rome will come up for around the same time. That's a lot of
So
damn. That's a lot of damn
not
money.
next season, but the season after. So 2027, I think, is when they're eligible for extensions.
They both top 10 picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I
if
think they
Rome
make.
is who y'all think he is, one of them might not be here, or
Yeah.
we're gonna lose somebody else that's vital, that's
You
making
might
really
be
good amount of
able to
money.
keep both, but you're gonna lose somebody else in the
You're gonna lose
process.
somebody. Somebody else on the team. I don't know what position. It just depends where we at come that time. But somebody ain't gonna be able to get paid because they just paid Jalen. They paid Kyler.
They
It,
paid DJ.
they paid DJ. They paid Komet.
DJ. They paid him.
They
They're
just
gonna have to pay
extended.
Darnell Wright. They're gonna have to pay
Yeah, they're gonna
Darnell
pay
Wright.
Darnell right the season before. They just extended
Right. They're gonna
Tooney
have to pay him in 2026. I think he's eligible after this season. I
after
think.
this season. Well,
I
yeah.
think.
So this is his
Th-
third. This would be his third. No, second season. No, his third season, right?
no,
Or second.
his third. His
His third,
third.
right? Yeah, it'll be his
22. He
third
got
season. Yeah,
drafted
yeah.
in 22.
His third
So
season.
22. Did he get drafted in 22? No, 23.
Who?
He got
Mhm.
drafted in 23.
So this is Darnell's third season
Third season. So yeah, because next year they have to make a decision on his fifth
on the
year
fifth
option.
year option. Yes.
Yes, they
Yep.
do. So technically, yes. By the end of the season, I think he's due for he's eligible for a contract extension because they'll have till I think May 1st to decide if they want to pick up his 5th year option.
And
I mean, if y'all think about it, like Jalen
So
and
yes, I
freaking.
think that's right. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Zay.
If y'all really think about it, Jalen Johnson, he got like a what? Don't all of these contracts, a lot of these contracts overlap to Rome and Caleb?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
freaking issue. Like a lot of these
But
guys, I
yeah,
don't
that's
know,
the
man.
thing. A lot
That's what
of
I'm
them
saying.
end in like 2027. So again, that's the point. Like
That's
by the
true.
time Caleb and Rome are due to get paid,
Yep. Gotta pay Dex
you're
too.
gonna have some decisions. Oh yeah, you got to pay Garvon too. So you're gonna
Yep.
have some decisions to make by like 2027, 2028. There's gonna be some tough decisions.
Okay,
Don't they
Tyreek
gotta pay?
Stevens,
Don't they got if they want to keep Brisker, they gotta pay him after this season, right?
Yes,
I'm
they
cool
do.
with. I'm not.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll do it though, to be
I don't
honest.
think. So.
Unless
I
he
don't
could
think so.
prove, he could play 17 games. I don't think they'll do it.
Tyreek
Mm.
Stevenson probably going too.
Yeah,
Possibly,
with the
yeah.
way they drafted Zay Frazier, I say, yeah, that's probably not a good sign for
Yeah, I'm,
Teddy.
I'm interested to see how. I think I said this before, but I want to see how Brisker looks in Dennis Allen's in defense because I think he can really make a difference. So
I
yeah,
think he
man.
could too. It's just going to be about health. He's been a good
And
player. It's just about health. Can he stay healthy? That's
mm-hmm,
been the biggest thing for Jaquan Brisker. I think if he could prove to stay healthy
mm-hmm,
and have a good productive season, then I think they'll extend him. We said this with Tevin Jacobs, right? We said what
mm-hmm.
was the one thing we said about Tevin Jacobs?
Health.
Good player, but he can't stay healthy. Can he prove that he could stay healthy? He couldn't prove that,
You can
and so
improve.
they let him go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
another.
that's that's
Go ahead,
gonna
Zay.
be Brisker's thing. It's like you have to prove you can stay healthy.
Yeah, another
Go ahead,
issue
Zay.
we got to worry about too is Montez Sweat. He getting up there in age too. We need to start drafting some darn edge rushers because
Well,
do
they
you
got
really want?
Booker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you really want to be?
I
You
agree.
got to get younger, bro.
You do. Yeah.
we
But
getting to
I
that
was just
point.
about to
But
say
here's
Booker
the
gonna have to
thing
get
though,
paid in 2 years though.
Zay, I've been said, but I said that though, and here's the thing though, they're designing this roster like they want to win now. That's why some of the moves don't make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you're trying to build like you're trying to win now, but then you want to draft like you're still rebuilding.
Yeah,
Make up your
you
mind,
know.
make a decision.
I
You
th-
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, are you rebuilding or are you trying to at least make the playoffs?
I think
You
with the
can't
Exactly.
have it both
yeah.
ways,
I think with the offensive
and that's the
line.
problem.
I think with the offensive line, they want to get guys in there who they can maybe next year's draft they draft some guards and stuff like that, so those guys can sit back and
They're gonna
learn and
have
then
to.
push the. That's that.
Right.
That's the only way.
Because
They're gonna
Tooney and
have to
Jackson
at
ain't
some
getting younger.
No.
right. Tooney's gonna be what 34 or 35 this year.
Mm-hmm.
34, I think.
And what Jonah
Yeah.
Like
Jackson, 30?
Don't get me wrong. I like
right.
Jonah Jackson, but that injury, that injury stuff scared me.
He
Like
30.
I
Ain't gonna be
Exactly.
30? Ain't he 30 now?
I
Or about
think
to be
he's
30?
30 right now. Oh,
Let's
who
see.
30.
Jonah Jackson. Jonah
I think
Jackson.
I
Jonah
think he like
Jackson.
27, 28, right?
28.
Oh
He
yeah, he
just
might
turned
be. He
28.
might be
He just turned 28.
28. Okay, so Tooney's the oldest guy there, but still, the point is though, like you think about it, right? At some point, you're gonna have to draft a guy, right? Like Zay said, at some point you gotta get younger. I said this though. That's my point. I'm like, so are you trying to rebuild or are you trying to contend for a playoff spot
Mm-hmm.
right now? Because if you're trying to contend for a playoff spot right now, why are you doing some moves that suggest you're still trying to rebuild?
Right.
Like picking Ruben Hippolyte. Like
Bro.
Ex-
like
like your linebacker room is probably still the weakest
It is.
room on your team, right?
You don't have
Outside of
nobody
TJ
backing up
Edwards, right? Outside of TJ Edwards and I guess
Evans.
we'll put Tremaine in there, even though he's not lived up to his contract. But that's another topic for another day. Um, besides those two, what happens if one of them or both get hurt?
Mm.
Because you
Yeah.
let Jack Sanborn go.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the depth behind both of them? You got Noah Sewell
Noah Sewell
and
and
Ruben
Hippolyte.
Hippolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't think Noah Sewell has gotten a fair opportunity. Let me preface that first.
Absolutely
But
not.
outside of him, do I really trust Ruben Hippolyte? Like, no offense, okay? I get they're trying to like act like, oh no, we got this steal, blah blah blah. He was projected to go in the 7th round or as a high priority UDFA.
Mm.
You took this man in the 4th round. That's a reach, dog. I'm sorry. That's a
Mm-hmm.
reach. Like, there's no other way to sugarcoat that. You reached for that man. So, because you reached, I expect this man to be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Like, he
I
doesn't
said
get a
it.
pass.
You said it last
Even though
week,
he
Zay.
should get a pass,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't get a pass because you took him so dang
You
high.
better be a starter. Shoot, that's what I said. You
Yeah,
better be starting.
literally.
It's the same thing with the Trapello pick. He better
Mm.
be a starter.
Mm.
Everybody keeps saying he the truth, he the real deal. I don't care about none of that. I
Hey,
want to
hey,
see it.
hey, chill on my guy Trapillo right now. Don't do
Man,
that.
they've been talking that boy up as if he the future at left tackle. I want to see it.
Hey. Tone that back. I was first. Remember that right
I tell
now.
you, I don't want to see no softness. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
Mm.
Yeah, Zay, I'm gonna put you out there. I'm gonna put you out there in some
Oh
pads.
my
Good,
goodness.
good. Put me out there. I know I'm
All right,
not
I'm
gonna
gonna
do good
put
at
you out
left
there.
tackle. I'm gonna be honest with that.
Mm.
But
Hey.
no. I think that I do agree to an extent, but I feel like if they feel like Braxton's healthy enough, they're gonna try to give him an opportunity. So I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say he should be a starter week 1, but I feel like if they feel Braxton's healthy enough, they're gonna want to give him an opportunity to prove that he can, be the left tackle.
I think Braxton's gonna
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I think he gonna start too. But I
I
think
think
it's
he's gonna
funny.
start.
Th-
It's funny. Yeah. Oh,
Yep. I think Braxton's gonna start, and I think they're gonna use Trapilo as a swing for
Really?
it's
now.
for,
Yep.
it's funny how all of these people, they like all of these Bears fans that was all happy that we couldn't that the guy the pick the Saints had and with that ninth pick in the first round, they was all happy
Mm.
that we didn't get
Kelvin
him.
Banks?
When Courtney Cronin basically confirmed that if he was there, they would have picked him. She literally
Man, they
said it.
should, bro. I would have screamed, bro. I
Mm.
She
would have
literally
cried.
said it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell
I
you,
believe it
I
too.
hey,
I believe it too. I would have taken him too. I'm so
We would have
serious.
been a pick too.
I was like when he got picked, I was like, dang it, I was upset,
No,
and
man, when
then
the
like,
Saints picked, I kid you not,
oh,
when the Saints
it
picked him,
hurt.
my heart dropped, bro. My heart dropped when the Saints picked him.
It was
My
like,
heart
man,
dropped,
come
bro.
on.
I was crushed. I was like, no, because
Yep.
I knew it. I knew it too. I was like, the minute someone takes a tackle, the tackle run's gonna start. And what happened? It happens every year. It takes
Yep.
one team to draft the tackle, and the tackle run starts. I
Mm-hmm.
was heated. I forgot who
Man,
took
when
the
he
first
got
tackle.
picked.
New England. New England took the first one, and then another one went what 7? I think.
Think so.
Who?
Hmm.
I think so.
It was it
7.
was it was it was the guy from Mimbu.
Yeah,
Oh
remember
to the
yeah,
yeah,
Jets.
the
Memphis
one.
went 7,
Yeah.
and then Banks went 9.
Mm-hmm.
3 went in the
Man,
top 10. I was
I
like,
was
Mm-hmm.
sick to
bruh.
my
I'm
stomach.
like, now we ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
get none. 3 went in the top 10. And so I
Yep.
think that's why, because to me, Trapillo had a third round grade, but because of the tackle run that happened so early, you had to take him in the
You
second
got it.
round.
Yeah. You have to.
Because you
Because
Well,
probably would have
well,
missed out. You probably would have missed out on him in the third round. He probably would have got taken
well,
by somebody else. So you had
it's
to
the
take
same
Elise,
him
I
in
got
thing
a
with the
question
second.
tight
for
end.
you.
It's the same
I
thing with
got
the
a
tight
question for
end.
you,
After
Elise.
Lovely got drafted.
What?
I got a question for you. If that's the case, and he was like a third round projection, and they traded back. Well, why the heck did they trade it back with that 41 pick?
You
They
mean
could have just
traded
took Ursary
up?
there.
They
Yeah, well,
traded
they
up.
traded back. They traded back with that
They traded up
41st
for
pick.
Trapilo.
Yeah, I thought they
They
traded.
traded
Yeah,
up for
They
I
traded
remember.
Trapilo.
back. They traded back.
They
They had
had
to see.
three
They had
second
three
round
first round.
picks. They
Yeah,
had
they had
three
the
second round picks. They took Burden with their first one that they got from Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Then they took Shamar Turner with their second round pick, and then they
no.
traded back up from pick 56 to take Trapilo.
No, Shamar, come on, y'all. Shamar Turner, he was the last pick
Oh, he
of
was the last
our.
one.
Yeah, it's flip flop. So, and then it was they traded back with Buffalo. Buffalo went up and took
All I know is they
T.J.
traded up at some
Sanders, and
point.
then
That's all I know. They traded up at some
Yeah.
point to get back into the second round and take a player. That's how
Mm-hmm.
now
they
y'all
ended
think
up
about
with
late.
three
Y'all think
second
about
round
day
picks.
three. Y'all think about day three. Buffalo traded. They traded back. That's how we got those. It was 2 second round picks for them. They gave
Ah,
to us. They were
okay.
later second round picks, and then they gave us a fourth round pick. The fourth round pick that we initially pretty
Even
much
still,
traded to them.
the point is
They had to
they
get
had to
somebody.
basically overdraft Ozzy Trapilo or they wouldn't have gotten him.
Man, they should have just stayed at 41 and picked freaking Nursery. Perfect
But
world.
Mm.
they wanted Luther Burden. You
They
weren't been
got Luther
able to
Burden.
get both.
They could have had both of them guys.
No, you couldn't have because Burden would have gotten taken 42. They were
Yeah.
Burden
talking.
would have. You could
I
have took
was reading.
Burden.
I was reading some article. Burden would have been taken 42 had he been there. So they
You could
wouldn't
have
have
took.
been able to get both.
You could have took Burden at 39 and took Ursery at 41. Ursery went 48 to the Texans.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Who knows? Who
I don't
knows?
think
I don't
they.
know.
I don't think they. I don't know who knows. I think, like I
Lose.
said, I think they really want to give Braxton another opportunity, and
Mm-hmm.
they felt Ursery was
Man, he would have took his
maybe
job.
too advanced, right? You know what
He
I
would have
like?
took his job.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ozzy's more of a project than Ursery is. So I think they felt like we really want to give Braxton another chance. So because Ozzy's more of a project, we'll just go with Ozzy and then
It's the
let those
same thing
two
they
kind
did
of
last
But
year
battle
that's
with
it
what I'm
out.
talking
Karan.
about.
They
Why are
took
we doing
Karan
it?
last year to give Braxton another year, and they gonna do it. They did it again.
Yep,
So who is that? Who's doing that? We all know who's doing it, and we
we
know
know
why
who's
he's
doing
doing it.
that.
So, you know what I'm
Yeah,
So
man, that stuff is. Yeah.
so
saying?
we'll see what happens, but I think they do want to give Braxton a fair opportunity, which to me personally, this is me and me only. I wouldn't be giving that dude another chance, okay? Like you're gonna have to earn the job in camp. If you don't earn the job in camp, sorry, bud, you're just not starting for me.
Right.
The way it
You
will
know what
go.
I mean? Like you're just not. Like the best five are gonna play. That's how I feel about it. But that's how it's
Politics.
always been. The best five need to be playing. And if that's a rookie, so be it. But the best
Politics
five
over
are gonna be
performance.
out here.
Yep.
And
Politics over performance. There you go.
Ryan Posey need
you
to
know,
freaking know that.
Mm-hmm.
like I don't understand this and one thing I do want them to do, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, like, it's crazy to say, but they need a backup center, in my opinion. They don't, like,
Yeah.
if something happens to Drew Dahlman, who's our backup center?
Dougie K, that's your boy. I
Okay.
thought he was supposed to be the truth.
Doug still there.
Yeah,
They
what's going
still
on
got
with
Doug.
him?
They still got Doug,
Oh,
man.
they still got
Doug is
Doug?
freaking sorry. Doug was
Still
a
got Doug.
fullback.
Remember, they signed
Th-
him to a future contract.
And you know what's so
Remember?
sad, Julius? Doug, and
No,
that
it's a
and that
1 year extension. It
Oh,
wasn't
one
even a
extension.
futures
Yeah.
contract. It's a,
Yeah,
yeah,
one
1 year
extension. Yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
My guy Doug, man, he going out sorry, man. Playing fullback ain't blocking nobody in that Packers game. Roshan literally made the play out of an
Yeah. I
impossible
don't want to
just to
talk
freaking get a
about it, bro.
touchdown.
yeah.
They doing
Man,
You
but
know
that's
what it is?
another.
I do love Dougie K, but the problem is he's undersized. That's his problem.
Hmm.
So like he gets overwhelmed. Like if you put him out there as a center, he gets overwhelmed by the bigger D
Right.
tackles because he's undersized. He's only about 6'2" and he's barely 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So he
So
finna get.
he gets pushed back. He gets bullied inside, and that's why you
Mhm.
know they kind of tried to convert him to fullback to give him some kind of role.
He gonna he
Julius,
Because
gonna
you know
he
what
gonna
make
get
me sick?
plenty.
he is undersized.
He is definitely undersized. Yeah, what's
Julius,
up?
you know what make me sick is realizing we could have had Mike Hill, we could have had Ursary, and we could have had Burton with our
If they
first
would have
three
took
picks.
Montel, you would have lost your mind. You know
Oh
that.
my
Hmm.
God, it makes
You
me
would have
so
lost
sick
your
to my
mind.
stomach. Man, I probably would have been a delusional fan for Ryan Poles at
I
that
know
point.
you
Believe
would
me.
have. I know you would have. Michael's your boy. I'm
I
like,
would have
he
been
I
would have
know
delusional.
lost
one
his mind.
thing.
I would have
Luther
been
Burden
He
need
delusional.
to
would have
hurry
lost
up and
his
sign his
mind.
contract. He needs to go and quit
Well,
playing
here's
games.
the
But it's that
thing.
hold
Only
because
two. It's because of the Texans and Browns. You got to blame them for this. They gave. This is the first time in NFL history that second round picks have gotten fully guaranteed deals. All four
Wow.
years. All four
Wow.
years. Like the Browns and the Texans gave their two second round picks fully guaranteed deals.
Mm.
That's never happened before. So nobody else has signed because of that. Because they want to know what the
I
next
saw
guy is
Shamar,
going to get. They want
but
to know
that's
what the
the
next
Bengals
guy
are
is
doing
going to
something
get.
different though. But the Bengals are
The
doing
Bengals
something different
the
with
Bengals
Shamar
issue
Stewart
the
though.
issue with that Samar Stewart situation is the Bengals want to try what other teams have tried, which is basically like it's like a language, it's a default language in the contract
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
basically if you like mess up or something or have like a slip up or something, they can void the guaranteed money after that year.
And see, but for
The-
him, they want to
and
do it one
so
time, the whole contract. It's
right,
not
the
like
whole
they.
contract,
So they've
not
done
per
others.
year.
Yes, so
Right.
there's been
Because
ones that did per
what
year. Yes.
because I saw Bengals fans try to be well that's what Zabel and the
Hmm.
pick before him signed. I'm like, no, they signed it per year
Per
basis.
year.
What the Bengals want to do is the entire 4 years, like just one slip up and that's it.
You
Like
got
what
one
the
strike.
Seahawks and I forget who the other pick is. I think it's after him. What they're doing, it's per year. So like if
Hmm.
they slip up depending on the year, they only lose the guarantees for that year. The Bengals want to do it for all 4 years, and Shamar Stewart's like, no, I'm not signing that, and I don't blame him. I do not
Once I
blame
saw
him
that, I
for
was
that.
like, I don't blame him at all. Hell no.
I don't blame him at
Trade me.
all, bro. I wouldn't sign that either. I
I'll
wouldn't.
be like,
I'm
trade my
so serious.
rights.
I wouldn't sign that
Trade
either.
my rights
Right?
or
I'd be
let me
like,
go. I'll go
trade
back to
me.
college.
Now he's willing to do it if it's per year, like a
Hmm.
per year basis. But the whole nah, one time and that's it. Nah, I wouldn't sign that either, bro. I don't blame
No,
him. I don't. I'm
you'd
not
be
signing
crazy to
that
sign
either.
that. You'd be
He'd be
crazy to sign that.
exactly. He'd be crazy
Crazy.
to sign that. And he's
No
like,
way.
nah, I'm not gonna be the guinea pig for that. Nope. And he shouldn't be. Nope.
No.
The Bengals are stupid on that one.
Yeah.
And
Ain't no way. Ain't no
ain't
way.
no, yeah, I wouldn't sign
should have
that
never
either. So I
drafted
don't
him.
blame him for that. I don't
Hmm?
blame him at all. What was it?
What'd you say there?
Anyway,
Yeah, I think
think
yeah.
he's
I think the
fine.
kid kind of like I understand it from his perspective, but dang, bro, I don't know. That's a dicey situation.
Would you
I
I
sign
mean,
probably
but
know
Zay?
what.
Zay, just think about it from your perspective. Would you sign that?
Probably not.
hell no.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. That's the point. That sometimes when a situation like that pops up, I try to put myself in the player's shoes. Like, would I sign that myself? Probably not. So if I wouldn't sign it, why would I expect someone else to sign it?
Mm-mm.
But
You
you
Nope.
see
know
what
it's so
I'm
bad.
saying?
Yeah, it's so bad because of that NIL. That's why they got to get some type of cap with that because some players, not saying just him, some players will look at that money and be like, "That's nothing compared to what I've been getting from NIL."
I don't even
Right.
think
I
it's
mean,
about NIL. I
mhm.
just think that the Bengals are trying to basically screw him over, right? Like
Mhm.
they're trying to like
Yeah.
screw him
Yep.
over, and he's like, bro, like you didn't do this for Amarius Mims or the pick you had last year. I'm not gonna be the guinea pig for this. No.
But think about it. What else? They ain't got no money. They just
Right.
paid they three
And
best players on offense. Where they gonna
apparently
get the
they've
money from?
resumed talks with Trey Hendrickson. We'll see how that goes. I don't believe that until I see it, but
So if they pay Trey, where they gonna get some money back from? They got to do something crazy. They got to do something radical. Because if not, they can be paying five guys guaranteed money for the next 4 years.
yeah.
Think about it. That's what you know
Yep.
what I'm saying. You don't think about it at first, but then when you take a zoomed out view at it, that's exactly what it is. Why would who in their right mind would say that? Come on, bro.
Right.
You
Come
gonna
on.
say,
But
oh, we gonna void all 4 years or 5 years if you mess up one time? What? Why
right.
would you
Like
expect me
that's
to sign that?
right. I'm not signing that. I'm no way on earth I'm signing that, bro. I'm
Just
not.
retrade my rights or hey, I'll
Right.
go back to college, whatever. Because I saw that he
Right.
could do that. I saw that he can actually go back.
Yeah, he could go back to college and then re-enter the draft next year, and any team except the Bengals can take him.
Mm. Yeah, they don't want if they don't want to switch it up, I can just go back. Go
Right,
whatever
bro.
school I
Like
want to go to,
I'll just go back to college and play another year, or I
or
could
just
just
trade
train
me.
for the year,
Yeah.
and then I'll re-enter the draft in
hmm
2026.
Yeah, they crazy as heck, man. They done
Like
lost
they
their
create
damn
the
mind.
Bengals are bugging, bro. That's all I know.
They are
Like the Bengals are
tripping.
being stupid. But no, like I blame the Texans and the Browns for why no other second round pick is signed. Because they
Mm.
gave two fully guaranteed deals. So now, guess what? I probably guarantee most of the guys in the second round want a fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
Because the
Mm-mm-mm.
other two guys got a fully guaranteed deal. And
Mm.
now, and for the Bears, it sucks even worse because they got three second round picks.
Mm-hmm.
They got three second round picks that they have to figure out the guarantees in the deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, dag, bro, like it's
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna be a while before we see another second round pick signed.
Yep.
But I do think majority will be signed by training camp. I think it's just figuring that part out and trying to get it done, right? Like
Yeah. Go ahead.
like
Go ahead.
do they get these deals done before training camp? Now, if training
Mm-hmm.
camp comes and no deal has been done, I'll get kind of worried because I'll be like, okay, like, are
What's
we
going
gonna
on?
figure this out? Like, what's cracking, right?
I
So,
mean, but it's on him though, because being tough. I mean, being put the warning out there now. You gotta
hmm
get in it. You gotta get in here.
yep.
It was on you. So he
So,
already been. He
and
already got his.
we already know about the problems supposedly that people had with Burden and why he slipped in the draft. So,
Yeah.
you
Talk
know,
about it.
don't live up to that reputation in the NFL. Like you're getting a clean slate in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ruin that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like try to be the one of the guys always on time, ready to be a willing blocker, ready to be the
Yep.
best teammate you can be, like all of that, right? I mean, getting
Mm-hmm.
hurt, you can't control that, but Ben's right in the sense like, bro, come on, like you kind of have to be out there, especially as a rookie, right? Because you gotta, as a rookie, you're not only learning the playbook, but you need to be able to get on the same page with Caleb, right? Like
Yes.
if
Yes.
you want the ball, you and Caleb are gonna have to be on the same page, right? Like you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to like know where each other's supposed to be, where Caleb wants the ball to be at.
Yeah.
Caleb's gonna need to know where you like the ball to be at. So
I'm
like
gonna get done.
you have to be able to have that
Be done in a
have
minute.
some sort of connection. You can't have that connection if you're not on the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm hoping that Luther Burden can be ready to go by training camp. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also hoping that, and I think Caleb will do this because he did something similar to this last year, but I'm hoping that he, has a throwing session with DJ, Rome,
Mm-hmm.
Burden, Komet,
That's what they better
Loveland,
be
right?
doing.
Matt and
And
Loveland. Yeah.
and Loveland, and he gets those guys out there, and just to get some chemistry going. He did it last year, so I think he'll do it again this year. I expect him
Mm-hmm.
to. Um, get those guys ready. That way, by the time gets here, you're not skipping a beat, and you can start picking
Right.
things up. pretty quick. Because the less
Mm-hmm.
they got to learn during training camp, I think the better off they'll be, right? You can do more things in training camp, the better that people are on the same page, knowing where they need to be, knowing the playbook, things like that. Um,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
also, I also would like to see. I don't know. I think this training camp, I'd like to see the different I don't know. I would kind of want to see like the different combinations in terms of like corner combinations because I
Mm,
am kind of curious to see. I kind of want to see like Kyler Gordon on the outside with Jayla Johnson and maybe have someone like Tyreek in the as the nickel
mm.
or like Zay Frazier as the nickel or have Jayla Johnson switch sides with Kyler Gordon. Like
Well, I
make
think
him
Jalen isn't
an all
Jalen gonna
pro
trail? Is he gonna
on
trail
it.
the best receiver this year? Didn't they say that's what he gonna do?
Yeah, that's what they said.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope
Mm.
so.
So
Like,
that
bro, like have him on Justin Jefferson and St. Brown.
I mean, yeah,
Hello?
he gonna. I
Like,
mean, if they're gonna have to do it, that means he gonna guard Chase, and then that'll put Gordon on Higgins,
oh
or that'll put
yeah,
Tyreek
he
on
got
Higgins.
Chase. He got Chase. Did they have the Dolphins this year?
The
I hope
Dolphins, no,
not.
they don't got the Dolphins this year. Not on
But
preseason, but
they
you ain't
do
gonna
got
see
the
nothing preseason.
Bengals. They
That's
they
what I'm
do got the
saying. So you
Bengals,
got
so he'll
the
be on Chase.
he'll be
You
on
got the
Chase, and
Ravens.
then you and let well, you
The
know
Ravens
what?
probably Zay Flowers, which he
You
should cook
think?
Zay Flowers.
Do you? Okay, I know this. Y'all might think I'm crazy. Y'all think they may put
Huh.
Kyler on they might put Kyler on Chase and put Johnson on Higgins?
I would challenge Johnson. Put him on Chase. I'd challenge
I'm just
Johnson.
saying because the size makeup, right?
I mean, I don't disagree there, but
Because
I'm
Higgins is
saying
way bigger than
I would
Gordon, right?
challenge like Jalen Johnson's one of the best corners in the league, right? Like there's no
Absolutely.
disputing that. The
Absolutely.
stats back it up. So give him a challenge. Hey, Jamar Chase right now. You and him one on one.
Yeah. I
Why
mean
not?
they're gonna have to figure it out.
Best receiver versus best corner. Yeah, I would pay to see that. Yes, I would.
Oh
Now,
no,
I say you could switch it up, right? Like
mm,
maybe one series you have Jalen, and then another series you have Kyler to kind of
mm-hmm.
like confuse
Yeah.
Yep.
Jamar. You know what I mean? Have kind of switch it up during the game, but I think both should be on him. How about that? I think you
I mean,
find a
yeah,
way
I agree.
to make both of them have to guard Jamar Chase. I think it'll only make them better.
Because I'm
Challenge
wondering,
both of
because
them.
I'm thinking, obviously they're gonna try to get mismatches with Jamar.
Hmm.
So you can't if you line him up in the slot, Kyler's gonna get him more than likely, and Jalen's probably gonna stay outside majority of the time. But if they put him in the slot, I'll put Kyler on him.
At
Like,
least.
you know what I'm saying?
All
You
I
know what
know
I'm
is what? What's up, Zay?
you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking forward to what is that cat name? Cody Forbes trying to freaking block Gervon Dexter
Oh
or
my
Grady
God.
Oh
Jarrett.
no,
I'm
they
looking
say
forward to
it
that.
might be Lucas Patrick. They say it might be Lucas Patrick,
Mm,
Man,
man.
he gonna get freaking smashed.
mm,
Yeah, he is. But they say that Fairchild's pretty much locked up the left guard spot.
mm,
Like
mm.
he's pretty much locked that up. So the competition's at right guard between Cody Ford and Lucas Patrick. I laugh too. I
What kind
straight
of
laugh.
what kind of how do y'all know how Allen plays his defensive lineman? Does he do like gap or
So what he does is he typically him like that's why I say like he like defensive linemen, he like edge rushers.
Yes, he
He
does.
don't
mm,
go after edge
He
rushers that
I
loves
are
the
know he
edge
like
I
rushers.
know
shorter.
he loves edge
He
rushers.
like
Yeah.
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 Like it wouldn't surprise me if, and this sounds crazy to say, but I wouldn't be shocked if Montez Sweat has a bounce back year.
I
No,
Like,
wouldn't be
and I
shocked.
say
I
that I say that because Dennis Allen is gonna find ways to get um get looks for Montez Sweat, even if
one
he's
on one.
double
Yeah.
I,
teamed.
I, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked that we
He's
seen
gonna
Dexter
find
at
ways
edge
to get
rusher.
Montez Sweat to the quarterback. And
Yeah.
I think that he'll also be able to help a young guy like Austin Booker. Because you saw what he did with Chase Young last year,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
still while still having Cam Jordan. who's one
Yep.
of the better edge rushers even at his age, right? Everyone
This
thinks,
man's
oh well, just double team Cam Jordan. No. And
bullshit.
he was able to get Chase Young going. And then once
Mm,
Chase Young got going, man, we gotta block both anyway. And guess
yeah.
what? Cam Jordan got to eat. So I think it'll be good for Dennis Allen to get looks for guys like Austin Booker and maybe even
Hmm.
Dom Rob, I guess, who's been taking some
I
front
just
seat
yeah, I
lately.
feel like
Mm.
with Flus, I think he's more worried about your gap integrity and stuff. So I don't
Yep.
think we got to see the best of Montez or
No.
Dexter or anybody.
No.
I
No.
wonder, and I wonder if they're gonna because he's
And
still around, and
and
people
they
like
talk
he's
about moving Gervon inside and out. I think that'll
Yeah,
help
I wouldn't be
too
surprised.
with Montez Sweat. I think that'll help Montez Sweat as well.
mm. I wonder if the switch of defense, and I know y'all not big fans of him, but I know he's been hurt. But Pickens, I wonder if that'll help him because maybe he's not a gap guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's
I
a
think as
straightforward
a
guy.
rotational D tackle, like if you could put him with someone like, because I thought he did okay for that. I forget which game it was, but he was playing next to Billings, and I thought he played really well.
I don't
I
think he
forget
had a
which game
bad
that was.
season. I just think that I kind of think that fans we put a lot of expectations on him, and I don't feel like he obviously hasn't lived up to those expectations. But I think he's been solid. I just don't think he's been what a lot of fans want him to be. But he ain't been terrible. Like I don't think he's terrible at all. I
He
think he's a
hasn't been
good player.
terrible.
He can't stay on the field either. So
Like
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
like I
I'm
said,
not gonna be.
go ahead,
What
Zay.
was that?
I'm not gonna lie. I like the kid from the guy who we got off the Packers practice squad.
Who?
I think I like him a lot more. I'm just being straight up. I just like what he
Who are
offers
you
No,
talking
to the
about?
team. The guy that was on our who came in and played against the Packers. The guy we got off the Packers practice squad.
Chris Williams.
Yeah.
well, no,
No,
I'm
I
just
Chris,
like
saying.
not
I
him.
Chris
just
Williams. Not him. The other guy. The nose tackle.
oh, I forget his name.
Oh,
Forget his name.
I know who you're talking about. Oh, I
But
forget his
but
name.
you know why? You know why I say that, y'all, is because whose name did we hear in the first couple of practices a lot? Edmonds. That man looked like a totally. They say he looked like what we signed him for. Like so, if Dennis Allen can make
And
Tremaine Edmonds
and
look like himself,
and
why he
recently
can't?
you've been hearing Dom Rob's name, which A makes me
Man.
nervous, but B, like, he's been getting first team reps, so obviously he's doing something right to impress the coaching staff.
And I
Man,
know
Dom Rob can leave me alone.
none of us
I
really
know he
like
can leave
Dom
me alone
Rob,
too.
but that man's a freak of nature. Like I'm
Bro,
not even
I
gonna
want
lie.
that
If
dude off my squad. How about that?
That man, if he if
I'm not
he
a fan, but if just think about it, as big as he is and as freakish athlete he is, if he gets going, he is a monster. Ain't he like 6'8", 6'8", 6'8", something like that?
6'6", 6'6", I think.
He's
6'6",
huge.
6'7".
He's oh my goodness. If they get him going, let me see. Dominique
Like, he gets on my nerves. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, he's big.
But no, like,
He's
I think
6'5",
I think
254. It's a big dude, man.
6'5".
6'5",
Who's that dude from
254.
Cal that apparently Dennis Allen advocated for? That UDFA they signed from Cal. He's 6'7". He's like 6'7". I'm
Let me
forgetting
see.
that dude's name, but he's a defensive end, and he's
Let
from
me see what
Cal.
we got.
Bro, that dude
Bears.
is huge. He's like,
my only issue with the Bears with them getting gas out of this tall is I don't want them to pass up on players just because they don't fit their height or weight qualification and miss out on good players. Like that shouldn't
but
matter. We should have a different
but
type of variety of
that's
pass
the thing
rushers.
though. But that's the thing though, Zay, is like, and we touched on this a couple times. Like, guys, coaches and regimes, like, guys that they feel fit their scheme, right? That fit their
Mm-hmm.
scheme, that fit their vision, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
believe me, I'm all for a good player. I was advocating for a bunch of good players. But sometimes you can't convince a coach or a regime that
Mm-hmm.
that player
Mm-hmm.
is a fit for their squad, for their roster.
Right.
Even though you and I could see the talent, and you and I would be like, man, we just don't care that we got to have this player. This player is a must have. But sometimes guys only know one way, right? Like coaches and players only know one way. So if they're like, but I only know this way, this is the way I thrive, this is how I've had success, I'm going to do what was working for me.
I think it's
That's what I kind
Xavier
of hate about this
Carlton.
defense.
Xavier Carlton is actually talking about 6'6",
Yes.
273.
Mm-hmm.
He's huge.
He's
Jesus.
huge. He is
He's
huge.
6'6", 273. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
He's huge. But
Austin
like I
Booker's
that
6'6", 245. Damn,
uh-huh.
Dexter
That's
is
why I said Booker will probably have a good season under Dennis Allen
time out.
because he
And you know what the
fits
scariest part
he
about
I knew
Dexter?
Dex. I knew
he
Dexter was
he
big.
fits
I didn't
the
know this man
Dennis
is this big.
Allen he fits the Dennis Allen prototype at
And
defensive end.
and Julius, check this
Y'all know
out.
how
He
big
only getting
Gervon Dexter
stronger.
is. Y'all know
He's
how
only
big he
getting
is.
stronger.
They got
He's
Gervon listed at 6'6", 326.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that man? He is
Yeah.
he's
all
only getting
muscle.
And
stronger.
it's all I was going to say it's all muscle. That 326
He
is
is
He's
all
all
only
muscle,
muscle.
getting
bro.
stronger.
Like,
That's
and that's the thing.
insane.
That's the thing with Booker. I'm like when Dennis Allen mentioned him by name, I'm like, oh yeah, Dennis Allen gonna have Booker on 10.
Oh,
He gonna
Odeo
have
Bing,
wait,
Odiagabo.
Dio
I hope
DeBango.
he's really good. I really
He's
do hope he's
6'5",
I'm
good.
gonna tell
282.
y'all right now. No, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. As someone who gets indie
Don
radio,
Rob,
bro, that was an
6'5",
overpay.
275.
Bro, that Dio was an overpay, bro. Like
Yo, I'm just looking at
he
these. Look how big these
that
dudes
man
are.
better live up to the 12 million he's
I'm not
getting
mad
per
at them
year.
for
That's all I can
overpaying
say.
him. I'm not mad at
Chris,
them for overpaying him, but why did they draft an edge rusher? Like,
your boy Chris
golly.
Williams, 6'2", 298.
Oh yeah, Chris William probably don't make the squad.
Hey,
Don Rob and Sweat are humongous human beings. Them Sweat, Robinson,
And Booker,
Dexter are human, and Booker are humongous human beings.
I'm telling you, bro, Booker
Booker's
about
not
to.
as
I'm
big though.
telling you right now,
Booker's 6'6", 245.
but
Billings
245.
6'1", 340. Dexter 6'6", 326. Grady Jarrett 6'1", 294. Odiengolo, I can't say the man name. 6'5",
bada
Dio
bing.
302.
DeBango.
Out of
Yeah.
bingo. Zach Pickens 6'4", 303. Dom Rob 6'5",
Wait,
275.
how tall is DeBango?
6'5".
Mm.
Jesus
Montez
Christ.
Sweat is 6'6", 270. Shamar Turner is 6'3", 293. Chris Williams 6'2", 298.
Hey, Julius, that's another player who I'm excited for.
Beast.
Shamar Turner. With him with
Me
Gervon
too,
Dexter,
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
excited.
bro.
Man,
Me too.
that's why I will get him props at. They drafted. I always like to say they don't draft guys who got a freaking head case because that's the guys we need on this team. But hey, I
Mm-hmm.
actually like that dude.
Man,
Hey,
this
hey,
big dude.
if they
Damn,
could
Ozzy
tone down
6'8".
his energy and get him to not fight a lot, but yeah, I like him too.
But that's what Dennis Allen was saying. He was like, we need to. There's some things we need to tail back a bit. If you watch his press conference, his recent one, that's what he said. That's what he
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Yeah,
much alluded to.
yeah, if they could tail him back, which I think they will be able to. I think they will be able to. He's a very talented player.
Did y'all know
The
Ozzy was the biggest player on the team? He's the tallest player on the team?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, six
That's
eight. He's
insane.
6'8".
You know what? I'm not even gonna
Eight
overhype the
three
kid,
twelve.
but if that kid can add some more muscle, oh my goodness.
He's
Mm.
6'8", what, 320?
6'8", 312.
312. Yeah, he should probably add about 10 pounds.
Mm. Mm.
If he can get some more muscle
Damn.
on him, man, that's gonna be
Corey Taylor
scary.
is not small.
He's
Corey
6'4".
Taylor's 6'4", 225.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
most
Mm.
punters.
Mm. He's huge.
How
I
tall?
didn't
Kairo's
know
How?
the
that.
What
shortest. I
about
think Kairo's the shortest.
what about
Kairo's
Gerv?
what, 5'8"? I
Yeah.
think Kairo's the shortest.
Gerb, who?
What about
Kyra,
Darnell Wright?
he's
Darnell
I think
Wright.
he
six.
like
Hold
six
on.
He's
six.
6'5",
Six.
Oh my
I
god.
just saw him. Hold on.
320.
I just saw him. Hold on
They
one
made
It's
him
second.
lose
weird
weight.
because
Remember?
it's weird because when him in times he look like he in shape, but then he not in shape. Like
Oh
throughout
no,
the
Nah,
he's in
season,
shape.
he's in
I
shape.
don't
He
know, man.
just,
He
The
me,
problem with
me,
Darnell Wright,
me.
and we talked about this,
Yes.
when Darnell Wright's injured, right, when he's playing hurt, he doesn't look as like I guess he doesn't
Dominating.
look as dominating. But like when he's healthy, Oh yeah, you notice
He,
it because he's
he
out there
remind me of,
moving
and
people.
I'm not saying he's Trent Williams. Listen to what I'm saying. Look at Trent Williams when he was hurt against the 49ers, and then the next week when he's healthy.
Mm.
Totally different. Look, completely different.
But if you
That's
really,
like Darnell Wright. When Darnell Wright's healthy, he's dominating. When he's not healthy, he's a really good. He's really
He's
good. He's
if
six
you
still looks
five,
really,
three
really
twenty
good. That's
five.
the crazy
if you,
part. Like he
if you,
still looks good, but he doesn't look like Darnell Wright, and
Yeah,
it's
he,
if
noticeable.
if you think about it, if this team can take the next step, he darn near can be a top 10 freaking right
oh no,
tackle.
he's getting
I
paid.
already have him as one.
He's
He
getting
already is
paid.
one.
He's getting
I
paid.
mean, I mean, like
He
Jesus
already is
Christ, he
He's
one.
close
paid
up
right now.
there.
Like I'm
He
He's
top
so
ten
getting
for
serious.
paid.
sure.
Like
He's getting paid. Top right tackles.
He
like he
top
He's
ten
getting
already
for
paid.
he
top five for top 15
to,
for sure though.
to me he's already a top right tackle in this league. Not even like I would have probably number one Panay Sewell, number two Lane Johnson. Those two, like that's no debate if you want to
Wait,
like
hold on. We would have to go through the
Yeah.
list though.
that's
We would have to go through the list because there's some gas. I
number
don't know.
Okay.
three.
Here I come.
Number
Um,
three. Let's see. I would
Because I don't know.
go.
I can read out.
I would go Braden Smith from the Colts. I would go Braden Smith. He's a pretty good right tackle. Number four, I go the dude from Tampa, Luke Goddard. Um, Number five, I put Darnell Wright. I'm not even like
Oh,
bias
damn.
aside.
It ain't
I
that.
put Darnell Wright number five.
All right, then. Hey,
PFF got
have him
this
to top
man.
10.
PFF got him behind Darn. They got him behind Braxton Jones.
Like
Who?
what? Like what are we doing?
Who?
They got Braxton Jones at 25 and Darnell Wright 26. PFF.
They probably talking about
Yeah,
tackle
And
okay.
combinations.
they
That
offensive
got to be
tackle
tackle
rankings.
combinations.
No, they offensive tackle rankings. They got Jordan
Yeah,
Mailata
you
number
know.
one, Tristan Wirfs two, Rashawn Slater three, Trent Williams four, Lane Johnson five, Panay
I, th-
Sewell six, Christian Darrisaw seven, Laramie Tunsil eight, Zach Tom nine, and then Bernard Raymond 10.
I bet you. I
Hey,
bet you this.
I'm
If
telling y'all right now, but not this. See, this is why I guess I got so passionate about Will Campbell. Bernard Ryman plays left tackle with 32-inch arms,
yeah, he's strong as heck. I
Yeah,
and
know.
he's
and
good.
and he got drafted by Central. He's from Central Michigan
Third round,
and
second round pick.
plays
Yeah, I don't like
left
this list.
tackle
This
with
list sucks.
32-inch arms. And I have people sit up here and have the audacity to say that Will Campbell's a guard. Like, are
How
you
tall is he?
serious? This man played in the SEC at left tackle and dominated. Yet someone like Bernard Ryman could play with
Mm-hmm.
32-inch arms, come from the
Mm-hmm.
MAC, and there's no ifs, ands, or
Right.
buts about it. Are you serious?
How tall is Bernard Raymond?
6'6", I think.
Bernard,
6'6",
six.
6'7",
He's
six
That's what
yeah.
I'm
seven.
saying. He kind of fit that profile of Ozzy. Ozzy need to get stronger.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny because that's my comp for Ozzy.
He got to
And
get freaking stronger.
and because when Bernard Ryman first came in, he was actually only like 305 pounds. Like he was thin for a offensive tackle
Let
when
me
he
see.
came in.
They got him listed 6'6", 302.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
bigger than that now. He's added weight, but
But you know
um,
one thing about Ozzy
6'6",
though,
when
he's
he
not
came
the
in, yeah, he was barely 300 pounds.
dang.
Yeah,
Who was for barely 300 pounds?
Bernard Ryman when he came in.
Oh yeah. But you know one thing about Ozzy though, he might not be the most athletic guy, but it's some
He
things he
doesn't
can
need
do
to
to
be.
get around that. He can
Mm-hmm.
get around that.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't need to be though.
Yeah. Good technique will get around some of that
You
stuff.
know, you know, with with uh with Ozzy, yeah, he doesn't need that, right? As long
Mm-hmm.
as he has good technique, oh man, he's gonna be he could be like Bernard Ryman because I
Mm-hmm.
think to me Bernard Ryman's very underrated as a left tackle in this league. He's one of my favorite people I love watching because like the way he moves, his footwork, he's just so fluid. Oh, oh, I wanted us to take Bernard Ryman when he came out. I'm not even gonna
Who do we
pretend.
take instead?
Braxton was in that draft.
Oh my freaking goodness. Cry me a river. We
I
took
think we
Valus
took
Jones.
Valus. We took Valus ahead of
Mm-hmm.
Bernard Ryman. We took Valus that year ahead of Bernard
Cry
Ryman.
me
I
your
kid you not.
river.
I'm not joking. I'm not
Well,
joking you right now. We
well,
took we
y'all.
took Valus over Bernard Ryman that year, and I remember being mad because I'm like, "Dag, bro, like you
Mm-hmm.
could have at least had Bernard Ryman if you were gonna
Yep.
take a left tackle anyway. You could have taken Bernard Ryman."
Yeah, well,
or
y'all, it's been a
Abraham Lucas.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, it's been a great show, y'all. Yeah, we will be back right around the time whenever they announce training camp. Then we'll be back on since they're gonna be off. We might as well take a break too.
Real quick, I quit being a Bulls fan. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not
Why?
doing
Because
it.
they talking about extending.
I told you I'm done. I've been
I'm
done.
I'm done. I quit.
Mhm.
First, you want to extend Billy Donovan, and then you want to keep a pedophile over your best player. Yeah, I quit, bro. I'm not doing it anymore. I
Yeah.
cannot do it. I just can't do it. I'm not
I
doing it.
told you. My team, the
I quit.
Timberwolves.
You
I
feel like
quit,
Kobe's
bro.
the best
I,
player?
what?
You feel like Kobe White's the best player?
Between him and Giddy, yes.
No, I disagree.
Yes, yes, I do. And the
He's not the
stats
better
backed
player.
it up.
No,
Stats
no, no,
backed
no.
it
No,
up.
I don't
He's
really
the
know.
better
I'm not gonna get into
scorer.
that.
He's the better scorer. The
He's
better
the
player
better
Hey,
player.
is Giddy. Giddy by a
I'm,
He's
mile.
the better
I'm
player.
not. I'm not. I'm
The
not.
I don't
I'm
want a
not gonna
pedophile
say.
on my team. Bye.
I
He's
ain't
not the
saying.
better
I'm
player.
not saying if like who better, but I just
Not
feel
in
like
my
we would
mind.
never. I feel like we would never win with Billy Donovan. Like actual, like we would never
We won't.
win
We won't. I quit.
with him at the
I'm gonna just
helm.
focus on the Pistons.
Talking about really,
That's what
really
I'm gonna do
win.
because I can't do it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and I'm gonna
focus on
focus
the
on the
Pistons. That's what I'm
Timberwolves.
gonna
The
be
Mhm.
doing.
Timberwolves.
I'm gonna
Anthony
be
Edwards, my
focusing
favorite
on the
player.
Pistons. I can't, bro. If they really extend Billy Donovan, I quit. I promise you, I quit. I'm not
Hey
doing it.
Julius, real quick, sad
Not.
note.
Nope.
Julius, really
Mhm.
quick. Once Anthony Edwards learn to freaking turn his back to the rim and shoot from his back to the rim, he's gonna be a freaking problem.
He is.
The Sky
He is.
finally
That's my guy.
won
He is.
a game.
Hmm.
So you,
I'm fine. They finally won a game. They beat the Connecticut Sun. Angel Reese had a triple double. Haley Van Lith
Yep.
had a career high in points. That was
yeah,
nice to see. Um, they're a hard watch sometimes, but it was happy to see them finally get back in the win
Oh, okay.
column.
I finally get what Steve O was saying. Got it. I get what
What?
you're saying, Steve O. I just happened to jump on Twitter real quick. He said, where is it at?
What happened?
He said that when we talk about Caleb, ain't this what Hard Knocks for? And I just read Black Dick
wait,
and
what
he
happened?
talked.
What happened? What
He
happened?
said
Oh yeah,
because we were talking about the Caleb,
we were talking about Caleb and not learning film and all that.
and then I just saw what Black Dick posted. He just said
Oh
he just
Lord.
rewatched Hard Knocks and they literally watched film with him play by play. See, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So
what I'm
he's talking
saying.
about the
But
East
They
Coast.
but Julius, but
Julius. When I brought that up, they said it was just for Hard Knocks.
But Julius,
All right.
that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if Wickersham if he just threw that in there because I'm not gonna sit here. I don't think that Flus wasn't really truly watching film with him. I do think they were watching film, but they weren't as specific as a freaking game plan of what coverages the defense was gonna show them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think happened.
I mean, I think that's true, but also at the same time, again, I don't know. I'm old school, I guess. I guess that's how I was raised. Bruh, you're a professional athlete. I got to hold your hand for everything. Really? Really?
Mm.
Really? Like,
We go.
I got
We
to
go.
tell you everything?
We gonna talk about it
Like,
because we're gonna talk
come
about the
on,
next
bro.
show.
Like, at some point, I can't be holding your hand, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
But that's what
and I
I'm
use the comparison from high school to college. High school, they hold your hand. In college,
Mm-hmm.
bruh, you're on your own. You sink or swim in college.
I agree, but that's what I'm talking about. That's why they should have hired Cliff Kingsbury because he's
Like, no,
somebody
no, they're
that
Mm-hmm.
not
was in
holding
that
your
room
hand.
with Caleb. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
should have just did that instead of just they were
Mm-hmm.
so scared about him taking Eberflus' job they didn't even hire the man, and you could tell he was fed up because he really wanted the job.
Mm.
And
You know
I
what?
think that was,
I'm a yep. I gotta.
I think that
I'm
was
gonna say
one of
something
the
offline.
things.
I'm gonna ask y'all about it
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that
because
later.
we'll
But I think
yeah.
that's one of the things that helped Jaden, right? Like, Jaden kind of just knew that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't
Yep.
have to be told that kind of stuff. And I think that's what separates the good players from the great players, right? They don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be told what to do. They just know to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't need
Mm-hmm.
mommy or daddy or coach or whatever to tell them what to look for. They know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bruh, you know what I mean? And I think what
Mm-hmm.
would help Caleb, and It helped Jaden because he even admitted it. Try a VR headset. That'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It
VR
helped Josh
headsets,
Allen.
they show you the different coverages and all that mess, right? Like, and they
It
play
helped
at a
Josh Allen
faster speed in the game than they do in the
on the field.
NFL.
Yep.
Like they play at a faster speed. So like your head is spinning at like 30 miles an hour, but
Mm-hmm.
it helped. Jane Daniels said it helped him in the actual games because it's much slower than the actual game is. Like the game,
That's
they
the
just
main thing.
throw everything at you in the VR game. I think
That's what
Caleb
Anthony
should try
Richardson is
that.
doing right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, yeah. Daniel Jones might look good now, but just
Mm-hmm.
don't count Anthony Richardson
I
out
think
yet. Don't count him out
I
yet.
think every young quarterback should do it. Try a VR headset. I'm so serious. Like I'm not, and I don't even
No,
think
dead
that's a
serious.
slight. I think that's
No,
so.
no, for real.
I I think
Two of the
that's
top
such
10
good
quarterbacks in the
technology.
league, both of them use VR and they're successful. Then
Yeah,
you just said Josh Allen
I
and Jaden
advocate
Daniels.
for it. I think
Yep.
Caleb Williams should do it.
Uh,
Absolutely use a VR headset.
it
Why
works.
not?
And like you said, in the VR they speed it up
Mm-hmm.
half a speed more, so you get used so you get used to being sped up. So by the time the game comes, it's like you ain't. It's easy. It's like slow motion when you in the actual game to you. Honestly,
Be
that's
cranking
what
that
Mm-hmm.
they
stuff
said.
out
Both
training
of them that
camp.
said the same exact thing. Yeah, yeah.
Pricking it out training camp. That's what we should be
That's
doing.
what I said,
That's
man.
that
And me
that or
and
that or that that or the GoPro. I think a GoPro's good too.
just think about it, man. And this will be my last thing before we get off. If Anthony Richardson can slow the game down and get a little bit more accurate, he's dangerous, man. He's dangerous as
Oh
hell.
yeah, for
That
sure.
man he is dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever be as accurate as like a Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that. But if he get close to like what Josh Allen is right now, oh my
If he could be average,
god,
like
That's what
golly.
I'm
average.
saying. Like, bro, maybe
Mm,
that VR headset will help him. I think Caleb should use it. I think every
mm,
young quarterback should use it. I think it's a fantastic tool.
yeah, I think it is too. I think
I
it's so.
encourage it too. I really hope Caleb tries it. I really do.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
think
know
it'd
what?
be
I'll
good
say
for him.
this because I know they were talking about if it works, if it does wonders for Anthony Richardson, you'll probably see a lot of people doing it because, you know, yeah, they've had a couple,
The
but I think they want to see
Seattle's having
somebody.
Sam Darnold
Oh, go
do
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
Seattle's having their quarterbacks do it. They're having Sam Darnold and Jalen Milrow and
Mm,
Drew Lock all do it.
mm.
Hmm.
You know who else need to do it? That boy from the Giants, Jackson Dart. I heard he looks
Oh
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, nah, yeah, he definitely need to do it.
he,
I heard that man looks terrible.
bro. I encourage it.
But
I think
hey,
it's
but
good. He
Julius,
definitely should
hey,
do it.
hey, I think they messed up by taking that young man in the first round. But I
Hey,
ain't gonna get into that. Hey,
you know
that's a
who
whole
look?
nother topic.
You know who look good though? That boy they passed up on.
Oh, you talking about
I
SS?
think them boys choked with
Hmm.
that.
You talking about SS?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big B legendary, Big
Hey,
12,
man is showing out. They said he
and
might.
Big 12.
I saw
Julius.
that they said it. They wouldn't be shocked if he be QB1 starting week 1. That's how good that man look right now.
I wouldn't be shocked either, but he should have been taken number 2 overall. But that's
I
another
still,
topic for
I
another
still
day.
think Flacco starts the season out. I still
I
think
do too.
Flacco starts season out.
I feel like Flacco would be fun to have in a room. He looks like he's just so much fun to have in a room.
But you
I
see
think they're
what
gonna.
one thing.
Like,
Oh my bad, Julius.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like Joe's gonna start the season, but by like week 6 or 8, between week 6 and 8, you'll see Shador in there.
oh, I
I
agree.
think
Yeah.
I think them boys choked up by doing that silly stuff.
If they don't start Flacco, they'll probably start Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. One of them two will start,
It's
and
gonna
then
be one of
Shador.
the two. It's either
Yeah.
gonna be Kenny or Joe
And
that start week
you
one.
gotta seriously think about that because if JJ McCarthy, if he's solid, then that's another guy they freaking passed on. Like
Mm,
they
mm.
decided
Bro,
to take a
don't say
receiver
that
there.
near because if JJ McCarthy destroys this week one, the Michigan fans are not gonna let me hear the end of it because I can't stand that Michigan
Man,
talk.
man,
All I'm saying is
we
like
better
this.
go get another pass
Bro, that's
rusher.
the funny part is I I appreciate JJ for everything he did, but I just really thought he was very mid and
That
average.
that
I
boy was
mean,
Carson
I
Beck
say this.
behind that
I
offensive
say this.
line.
If he was on a team that didn't have talent, he wouldn't. He won't be that good. But since he's going to Minnesota, that's got a good offensive line. You got 2 solid receivers. You got a great tight end.
Actually, they got two good tight ends because Josh Oliver ain't a slouch either.
Oh, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I forgot about Allen. No slight to him, but I was Hawkinson is so damn good. I just forgot about the other guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, but you
Ibra,
Hawkinson,
know what I'm saying?
Oliver.
So
Yeah,
he
they
Iberflus,
got
picked
a
the
good
offensive
situation
line
going on. So
again.
yeah, they got
Iberflus didn't
The
know what to
defense
do
is
with that
still really
man.
good.
bro.
Eberflus did not know what to do with freaking Hawkinson. He was cooking us.
You
Don't get
know,
me talking
and
about that.
Addison. You know why? Because he was too busy quadrupling freaking Justin Jefferson that everybody else was open.
Mm.
I'm like, you idiot.
But
Well, you know what?
that's where the Ruben Hippolyte stuff come from there. Like hopefully he turned out to be good because with that speed at linebacker position, that's freaking ridiculous. But
Well,
hey, I don't
He's
know.
kind of
Noah Sewell's
undersized. He'll
fast too,
probably
man.
be better at safety.
Hey, Julius, you know who I'm pulling for, man. Come on now. I
Yeah,
need him to be good.
we all do,
Hey,
man. We
bro,
all need to, man. But
bro, they
we'll be
should
back,
do.
y'all. Who?
They should put GoPros on people's heads. I see that's
Mm.
what the Jets are doing. That actually looks kind of dope.
See, I purposely didn't bring the Jets up. Yeah, I didn't bring. See y'all. I didn't bring them up now.
I'm bringing them up. I don't care.
I didn't bring it up.
People
I
can
didn't bring
cry
it up.
about it, bro. I don't.
I
I
didn't
do
bring them
not
up.
care. I don't care. I'm
But I
bringing
love
them up.
y'all, man.
Cry
I'm
about it.
tired.
They one
My
of the.
Father's
They're
Day
one of the top.
weekend
They're
was
one of
full.
the 32 teams of the. If you're that emotional or that upset, then that's a you problem. That's not a me
Mm,
problem. I like the NFL. I like sports in general. I'm talking about all the teams. Hey, I'm talking about New Orleans and their 40-year-old quarterback, Tyler Shuck. I do not care.
mm.
Hey,
Okay,
Shaq might
I
actually
cry
be good.
about it.
Calm down on the Shuck hate.
Like, dang,
You
Let me
know
stop
what?
playing.
uh,
Let me stop playing.
bro.
We
I
gonna we
don't
gonna holler
like
y'all and
all that sensitivity. Like, grow up, grow a pair of balls,
mm,
go outside and touch grass. That's what I got to say about that.
but we love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. We will be back probably in like 2 weeks, maybe 3. We'll just see what the schedule looks like. Well, until then, man, y'all have a good one. Enjoy your summer break for those who on summer break. Those not, hey, enjoy your time with your kids, your spouses, whatever it is. And we'll be in touch with y'all soon, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on X. And yeah, man. Thank y'all, man. Again, man. We
Peace.
appreciate the love and support. Appreciate the comments, Steve-O, checking in the comments, man. So y'all be smooth.
Peace.
Later.